Everybody, welcome back to day 2 of Yoga Pants and Plants. Day 2 is Nourish your self-awareness. Keep your props close by and let's get started.
Yoga Pants and Plants. 30 Days of Compassionate Yoga is an invitation to journey toward being in the present moment, an opportunity to emulate the way nature lives in the moment. Be like a plant. Don't worry how you look. Notice how you sense and respond, like the way a tree reaches for the sun or a source of water. Nourish yourself with movement and stillness. Allow compassion to flourish for a little bit of time every day.
Day 2, Nourish self-awareness. Your compassion shines forth from the very center of your body. Yoga philosophy teaches us that connection with ourself and world come at the bliss layer of your body. The next layer is the wisdom body. The wisdom body is there to guide us when decisions need to be made. You clear and strengthen this wisdom every time you nourish your self-awareness. Building on the discovery of your breath from yesterday, find yourself laying on your yoga mat in a comfortable position with your eyes holding a soft focus or closed. Invite the mind to take a seat in the body at this present moment. Let nothing separate you from your true compassion. As you place both hands on your trunk, one hand near the belly button and the other near the heart, breathe in love. Purposely guide your breath toward the belly button. Breathe in with a belly rise. Release your breath and allow your belly to float back toward the spine. Breathe in with a belly rise. Release your breath and allow your belly to float back toward the spine. Breathe in with a belly rise. Release your breath and allow your belly to float back toward the spine. Breathe in with a belly rise, release your breath, and allow your belly to float back toward the spine. Now completely relax your breathing and breath, and breathe just the way you do without thinking about it. These breaths are building your skill and awareness of full diaphragmatic breaths. Feel the part of the body just below the ribs. This is where the diaphragm is located. Notice how it moves when you breathe. Now place 2 of the bean bags across your upper abdomen just below the rib cage to help bring awareness to the diaphragm. This can help you sense the activity of the diaphragm, and you can feel the amount of work and tension needed to perform controlled inhalations and exhalations. Purposely guide your breath toward the belly button. Breathe in with a belly rise. Release your breath. Allow your belly to float back toward the spine. Breathe in with a belly rise. Release your breath and allow your belly to float back toward the spine. So using the bean bags across the upper abdomen helped you to feel the diaphragm. And Soma yoga is like taking a car trip versus an airplane trip. As you travel more slowly in the car, there are more things to notice. When you do these practices each day, you're taking time to slow down and notice your breath. Your breath is something that you have with you all the time. The more you notice it in yoga practice, the more likely you'll be able to check in with it during your day. So now we'll move into the arch and flatten practice that we learned yesterday by placing your feet on the floor with your knees bent in the effortless rest position. Like the work you did yesterday, called arch and flatten, you begin with the flatten part of this Soma practice. Place your hands on your 2 hip bones and gently drop your back down to the mat so it is flat, and gently release it to the neutral position of your hips and spine. Go ahead and try that 2 or 3 more times. As you're doing it, what do you notice about the front of the body? What do you notice about the shoulders? This time when you did the flatten part of arch and flatten, you nourished your self-awareness by noticing that the front line of the body contracts and the shoulders move forward. Now from the neutral position, gently increase the natural arch in the back just enough to notice, and then return the arch to that neutral position. Go ahead and try that a few more times. So notice the mobility of the spine and the mobility of the shoulders. What did you notice when you arched about the back side of the body? And what did you notice about your shoulders? This time try it again with that extra arch, and nourish your self-awareness by noticing that the arch contracts and the shoulders move toward the spine. To add just a touch of stability, press your feet to the ground, just enough to slide a piece of paper under your bottom. Relax your legs and ask yourself, how do I feel in my hips now? Go ahead and roll to your side and push yourself up into a seated position, and then find your way to your feet and face forward in the middle of your mat. Finding the mountain position, you place your hands on your hip creases and dangle your feet down naturally. Today you can look and see how your feet land and how does it compare with yesterday's without any judgment. With a neutral pelvis, place your hands on your hip creases. Lift first one leg and then the other at the hip crease. Bending forward so your body is parallel to the ground, and returning to standing. And then bending forward, and this time releasing down to either a chair or block or your hands. And as you're doing that, think about the beautiful ball and socket joint. You can try that again. Bending forward, you're rolling over the top of the ball and socket joint in your hip. Once you're comfortable, just far enough to keep your hips stable and strong, you can choose to go further. The flexion in the back releases like a string of pearls, vertebrae by vertebrae, to the ground or to the blocks or to the chair. Once you have reached the end of the forward fold, you can take a few breaths. When you are ready to come back up, bend at your knees And once again, use that string of pearl motion to bring your spine back up to the folded position where you're parallel with the ground. And have strong and steady hips. Then use the large muscles of the legs to help rotate the leg bones and hips up to the mountain pose again. On your next forward fold, you can drop your knees to the mat and move into a tabletop position and experience the cat and cow position that we talked about yesterday. The cat is when you're pushing your spine toward the ceiling. You're having a contraction in the front. And notice what's happening with your shoulders. Your shoulders should be moving apart. And the cow position is when you drop your spine toward the floor. So you have a contraction in the back of your spine. And your shoulders are being pushed toward the spine. So you can rotate between cat and cow. And when you're ready, you can lay on your back. Feel free to bring a blanket to cover your body or your eyes. And take any extra movements that seem necessary before being still. Using your mind, recall the determination you felt when you first decided to move toward a compassionate lifestyle. Ignore any thoughts that pop up that judge you. Building on what we learned about nonviolence yesterday, here's a quote to consider. It's from author Deborah Adele. To create a life and a world free of violence is first and foremost to find your own courage. So remember a time in your life when you felt courageous. What did you do? What did you say? Where in your body did you feel the courage? Allow that courage to spread from that place all throughout the body. Rest in courage. There will be several minutes of silence, and then I will end our session for today. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll to one side. Push yourself into a seated position with your eyes closed and hands in prayer position. As you move through your day to day, smile and think about your courage. And at any time, Any given moment, this is available for yourself. And compassion is available for you and the individuals in the greater world. Namaste.
Now, as you rise from your mat, don't forget to eat more plants. You will feel and move better. Follow us for tips at flowingyan.com.